Boom. We should be rolling. We are on. Okay. Mr. Denmark. Seems like you're absolutely crushing it, mate. How did you get on to this whole crazy journey that we call CrossFit?
Oh, it's a good story. When I went to high school, I was doing just regular fitness. I've been doing loads of sports all my life. I've been cycling. I've been doing gymnastics, and got into the high school, and just like all the other guys went to the gym to do the regular disco pump.
Yeah.
Um, and then my mom was like, "Oh, I've just started this CrossFit thing. You should come join me." I was like, "No, no, mom, I'm not joining you for that." And then yeah, it took her some time to convince me, but like after a couple of times I went with her, and like the first time I just got caught in it, and like from there on it just took off, and I've been doing it like ever since. I think I just went to 3 classes a day because I liked it so much. I like the competitive environment. I've always been competing, so like that competitive environment where you are competing with yourself every day. I really like that.
Yeah, 100%. How long ago was that when you first started?
I think it's about 4 years ago now. Maybe yeah, it's probably around 4 years because I started just for the open, um, and it's my fourth year now. So it's 4 years ago. So in 2017.
Wow. I mean, how are you feeling for this open that's coming up?
I'm excited. Um, as everyone, I'm looking forward to being able to do some kind of competition again. Like with the long lockdown, it's been a while. So I'm just really looking forward to test my body and see where I am at the moment, and then just go for it and see how far I can get. So yeah.
Especially with the 3 weeks, right? With the structure of it being a little bit shorter in duration. I think a lot of athletes are gonna drop the hammer a little bit more and be like, okay, cool, we can really push this rather than it being a psychological battle of a 5 week slog.
Yeah, exactly. Like 3 weeks that you can easily manage that because usually it just gets hard after the 3 weeks. So like I think people are gonna go smash it and really go hard on every workout. So it's just gonna be super fun because that's why we do it.
Oh
We
yeah.
like to just kill ourselves.
Yeah, and you see those people that just go hell for leather, come 3, 2, 1, go, and you're like, oh my god, this is a 20-minute workout, mate, and you've gone out so hot. Yeah, it's just so entertaining to watch. It could say a lot about us, but at the same time, it is so funny.
Yeah, but like I really like that's the thing. Like people who aren't doing competitions regularly, but they all sign up for the open and get to try this competitive environment, and they have no idea how to do it, but they just love it and they just like go go full on from the first minute,
Yeah.
and then just prove themselves for the rest of the workout. But like they love it and we love to watch it.
100%. And it's like some sort of primal instinct though, right? To just go so hard that your body like starts shutting down and you don't really know what's going on. Like it's addictive. It really is addictive.
It definitely is. I think it's like all the adrenaline and nervous and everyone's looking at you and just makes you go, okay, I'm gonna show them how to do this. And then
Yeah. We I that's broken memory. I used to coach a guy called Harry, right? And we used to call him Deadfish Harry, simply because it didn't matter what workout it was. It didn't matter about it. It was a 1 rep max clean or a Murph or an hour and a half workout. It doesn't matter. Like, doesn't matter what's on the board. Within 2 minutes, he'll be face down on the floor, arms by his side, just gasping for air because he's gone out so hard. Like,
what a legend.
literally, right? You look at right, Harry. This is a 40 minute workout, mate. What are you not going to do? All right, Alex. I'm not going to go out. from the gate. I was like, okay, cool. I want you to hold this split. All you got to do, mate, is see this on the rower. Just look at this screen. It's going to say 150 or something daft. Okay, we'll pick out a number. Look at it. If it says 140 something, you're doing too quick. Slow down. He's like, okay, cool. Next thing you know, you just hear this rev happening. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I turn around and Harry's just going through it. I'm just like, oh no. Oh, no. Dead fish Harry, mate.
It's so weird. Like we have one of my best mate, it's called Asbjørn. So we call him Kamikaze Asbjørn because he literally does the same, and he's like he has really gotten better at it. But like when it was at its worst, last open, I think it was 20.1, the ground to overhead and bar facing burpees.
Oh yeah.
Remember, like, so we've been talking in the car on the way to the gym, like planning and strategizing, and he was like, okay, I'm just gonna do the first one here. I'm gonna do 1 minute and 30 per round just to get through it. Like that's enough to be able to get on the time cap, and I just wanted to get it done. And like during the warm up, we're practicing his times and his rounds, and he's hitting like 130 average every round, so it's good during the warm up. Then he's ready to go, and like the clock goes 10-second countdown. Like out the gate, he just goes completely off the pace, does 3 rounds in 2 minutes, and then he looks at the clock, and he's just like fuck, and then he walks out the door. And like the legend walks out the door for half an hour, comes back, does it completely after his plan.
That's amazing. Just gets so caught up in the atmosphere. It's like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna drop the hammer, put on a show, sort of thing. And you know, right? You know, at that minute, it's like that meme. At that minute, he knew he fucked up.
Yeah, he knew himself, and he's like, nah, I'm just like, it's not good. And he just went straight out of the gym, and we didn't see him for 30 minutes.
Oh, that's amazing. I had a bit of a similar experience on the 33, the 27, the long one of the thruster and the chest to bar.
Yeah.
Was it 2018, 2019? I can't really remember.
I think it was the 19.5.
19, that was the one. Yeah. I was like, look, I'm gonna have no strategy. I'm just gonna breathe, whatever, and I'll put the bar down. 2-3 reps before blowing out. In fact, my only strategy was my first set of thrusters, I'm going to do 11. I don't know why. I just clicked the number out. I was like, do 11. That's all you're going to do. And then from that, whatever. And I remember finishing the set of 33. I looked at my judge and I didn't know where I was. I was just like, oh no, this is going to be a really shit 10 minutes.
That's a brutal workout.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. I think I really enjoyed it because I've only done it once.
Yeah.
You know, I've got really fond memories of it because it was like 3 years ago and I've only done the workout once.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have a good association with it, and like it's a great workout. You can't argue with that. And like, so like I remember being in Lanzarote during that workout. So it's the last workout of the open, and my coach Phil wanted to put a bit of pressure on me. So he was like, okay, Lukas, you're doing it next to Sarah and Adrian. I was like, no, I'm not doing it next to them. And like he literally just put me in the middle between Sarah Sigmundsdottir and Adrian Mundwieler. And then I had to do it. And like they were finished 5 minutes before me, and like it was such a good experience to just like get to compete with them or against them. But like it was still, when they were finished, I had 21:15.9 to go. I was like, okay, it was a big beating, this one.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit, these two are next caliber sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like been doing CrossFit for 1.5 years, and like my first proper open, and just like, okay, it's go time now.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. But I mean, looking at it from an outsider's perspective, I remember when you were kind of coming onto the scene, Like there was a little bit about you here and there, not really. Oh, this Danish bloke sort of thing. No one kind of knew your name, sort of shit. You kind of look at your gymnastics, and you clearly know you got a gymnastics background, and you're like, holy shit! Like he can hold his own with anyone, sort of thing. That's impressive, man. Did you feel like you came in and were like, okay, cool, I must be like half decent at the whole gymnastic stuff, and I just need to plow a lot more energy into the other things?
Yeah, first, cheers, man. I really appreciate it. But like, I actually, when I started, I wasn't that good at the gymnastic stuff. But I had a really good body feeling, like I knew where my body was in space.
Mm.
From because I didn't do the gymnastics with the rings and the Olympic gymnastics. I did the team gymnastics, where you're doing running down to the trapeze and stuff like that. So I had a good feeling about where my body was in space, and I think that was really good for my gymnastics because I could control my core, which is a really primary thing for doing great in gymnastics. And then just slowly as it built up, I started to feel like, okay, I like gymnastics and I'm doing quite well. So I really need to like keep pushing the gymnastics and get better at it. But still, my primary focus has to be on getting all the other things up. But I didn't want to take gymnastics out because I don't think there's any reason to like take the gymnastics down to get better at the strength. I might as well just push both at the same time. So yeah, that was really my thought to like I need to get all the strength things and Olympic weightlifting up really well and get well at it. But I don't want to get bad at gymnastics on the compromise of getting good at the strength.
100%. Like that's CrossFit, right? Like we want to be
Yeah,
able to
exactly.
do everything, be good at everything, or at least half decent at everything. And then when you compete in it, you need to be great at everything. And yeah, like proprioception, like your body's ability to know where it is in space and time, like that. It's really, really interesting. I'm gonna like pull it out of the athlete perspective and then shove it into the coaching perspective, right? Because you can clearly see people who have been an athlete before because they do have an incredible proprioception and they know exactly what they're doing. And you know, you could walk into the gym. I'm like, all right, Lukas, I want you to close your eyes and like jump and do a 360 and then run forwards, and you would just know exactly what to do. You'd be like, okay, yeah, cool, it's second nature sort of thing. But I've had people where I'm like, okay, we're going to break down the med ball clean, and all we're going to do, basic beginner, we're going to pick up the med ball up and we're just going to stand up with it. You're not going to squat with it. You're not going to do anything. I'm not going to worry about whether your elbows rotate or any of that stuff. You're going to pick it up, obviously, with a neutral back. You're going to pick it up and you're going to finish it in front of your chest. They're like, okay, cool. And then they pick it up and put it above their head and they think it's in front of their chest. I'll never forget this, like ever. To like, I've got an awful memory, and I'll remember it when I'm 90 in a rocking chair. I'm like, all right, I want you to finish here so it's in front of your chest, and people put it above their head. And that's just with a lack of proprioception, right? And they've just not played sport growing up and probably not been outside and kind of messed around with their body and actually learned all these like intricate things. But it's crazy. And you also look at the athletes who are competing at a high level, and you're like, damn, yeah, okay, this person played sport. This person clearly
Yeah,
played sport.
yeah, exactly. So and like that's really like a yeah, it's really a good example because like you don't think there's people like that, but there
Yeah.
literally is,
Yeah.
and they have never done anything before. So it's really good example. Like they have no idea where they are in space, and it's just okay, this is completely new for them. And where is my chest?
Yeah,
Like
it's crazy, right? Because we take it for granted. Like I played sport growing up, you played sport growing up, and even if we completely took all activity out of our lives for a year, you could come to one of us and be like, "Okay, I want you to do this," and be like, "All right, wicked. I know how my body works," sort of thing. I know its limitations, I know its strengths, but I also know where it is. Yet
yeah,
you say someone, "Oh, extend your elbows," and they've clearly got like a 30-degree like bend in their elbow, and you're like, no, like fully extend their elbow. They're like, yeah, it is. I'm like, well, look at it. And they look at it and they're like, oh, Well, I didn't really know. I was like, how? How did you not know that? But it also like kind of, you know, it poses a big problem in like modern day society, I guess, because kids aren't necessarily getting that, and then you're just like, well, what is it going to look like when they progress into an adult if they just don't know what the body does? You know what I mean?
Yeah, really. Like I remember growing up, like you were always outside playing and like playing sports or building stuff or climbing trees and stuff like that. Where now my little brother, he's 11. Like all he's doing, he's playing Fortnite all the time, and it's like I remember like we couldn't do that, so it's like really different to how they live now, and it's only been like 11 years. I'm 22 right now, so it's been 11 years, and I was like, okay, that's different.
It's literally the same boat as I'm in. I'm 24. I got a sister who's 14 and one who's 16, and they kind of did the same thing. Just always stay inside. I'm like, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, I was getting
Get out.
dragged inside, and now you're getting thrown outside, sort of thing. It's so weird. It's such a strange concept. I'm like, go cause mischief. Like throw sticks or whatever. Go play football.
Ring some doorbells and stuff like that.
Yeah, knock a door run. Yes. Do you have knock a door run in Denmark?
Yeah.
Oh,
That
that
was
is incredible.
that was class.
What about knock a door don't run? So you basically got to come up with some bullshit excuse that you've knocked on someone's door.
I think we have that, but like I've never tried it. Like I think I was too nervous to getting caught because like I think like being 10, 11, 12 years old, you think it's like like you really think you're breaking the law knocking the door.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, do you want to buy some Girl Scout cookies? They're like, yeah, okay. I'm like, oh, like it. Yeah, you do. Oh fuck, what we do? Oh, hedge jumping. That was always a fun one. You basically just run and jump into someone's hedge, um, and go all the way through it. Obviously, you go home like bleeding and just scratched up because you've just thrown yourself into hedges all day. But then you've just got to leg it out. But I mean, it makes a really cool imprint into someone's nicely cut hedge, which
Sounds like
again,
a proper kids game. Sounds
yeah,
fun though.
I wouldn't recommend it. If any kids end up going doing it, don't go blaming me, but give me the credit for telling them the idea. It's a great game. I'd even want to do it now. See, this is the problem, right? This is the problem
Yeah.
when you get older because you play kids games, but then you do it drunk. So then you just do it to the extreme, right? So it's like instead
Yeah.
of like hedge jumping, you basically like run through the hedge. It's like it's no longer leaping over a hedge; it's just running through the
And
middle
I
of it.
just running through it,
Yeah,
going like full kamikaze into the hedge.
just because we think we're the Hulk or something. Had way too many tequilas, and the next thing you know, you're the Thing out of Fantastic Four, and you're gonna run through a bloody wall or something. Yeah, don't try that one at home.
Oh, it doesn't sound like a good idea. It does sound like a good idea, but doesn't sound like something you're gonna escape from well.
Nah, all the bad ideas make great stories, though.
Yeah, like exactly. That's the thing.
You just got to weigh it up. Hey, am I going to survive this bad idea? If it's a yes, I mean, yeah, okay, crack on. But if it's a no, please don't make that, risk. Then, let's play the cards right and
Yeah.
don't go doing that. But yeah, all the bad ideas make the greatest stories. God damn, damn.
Yes, it was good times.
So what's growing up in Denmark like in terms of sport um and the whole fitness and stuff. Like obviously I mentioned that I kind of been over to Denmark very briefly, and it seems like a very healthy nation.
Yeah, I think growing up in Denmark in regards to sport is like many other countries. Like all the boys plays football and the girls plays handball and stuff like that. I think handball you don't have that in England, but like handball is very big in Denmark. Um, um, yeah, I don't know, like. Do you know what it is?
Yeah. I played a little bit of it when I was like 16 for my assessments for my for
Okay.
schooling.
Yeah,
I
cool.
absolutely love it. I think it's a brilliant sport.
And that's the thing. Like the Danes really love sports. And like they're really into it. Like, so when the national team is playing, like 1/6 of the country is watching it, and like that's a lot. Like it's only a million, but we only 6 million here in Denmark, so it's not that much or many people. But we just love sports, and a lot of kids are playing sports. And in regards to like general health in Denmark, I think Denmark is the nation where most people are biking. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're biking all the time, and I think that's like you can also see that in on the world tour in cycling. Like, it's a small country, but we have loads of riders in the pro teams and stuff like that.
I mean, again, I've got some bad idea, good stories in Denmark cycling around.
Oh, let me hear those.
No, like it was it my first night or second night, something like that. Like obviously I just got over. I got a flight over to Copenhagen and I was like, well, everything's obviously not in English. So I was like, okay, I'm just trying to like kind of get my way around. And I remember messaging my mate. I was like, "Is Copenhagen with a obviously with a K? You spell it with a K, right?" I was
Yeah.
like, "Is Copenhagen Copenhagen?" And just spelt it the same, but without with a K and a C. And she was like, "Yes." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'm in the right. I'm going the right way." I don't know why, but I didn't put two and two together. Anyway, kind of get over to Foon, the Middle Island, and that we go out to the pub or the local bar, and like you said, everyone cycles, right? So have a have way too many drinks. You lot like oh, what was it, like the sours?
Like, yeah, I think there's something called sours, but like, I don't drink alcohol, so I don't actually quite know it.
Yeah, it
So I
was
think
it
you
was
have more experience in it than me.
it was something along those lines, lad. It was like it was sours, but obviously not branded as sours, so it was something else.
We have
Anyway,
something called small sours, so it's probably those. Like
it
they're
might have
they're
been
really
that.
popular.
Yeah. Anyway, long story short, right? We're like, okay, cool. The pub shuts down. It's home time, sort of thing. No problem. It's home time. We'll go get the bikes, and it's a snowstorm. It's like 1:30 in the morning, probably about -4, -5, and it's snowing sideways. And I'm like, all right, welcome to Denmark, sort of thing. So we're on this bike, just getting absolutely slapped in the face by these by snow. I can't really see. I've just got like my eyes just about open, and obviously I'm pissed as a fart. Um, so yeah, welcome to Denmark. I mean, it was
Yeah,
awesome.
exactly.
I mean, people regularly think I'm from Denmark simply because I've blonde hair, blue eyes, and then I start talking. They're like, "Yeah, you're definitely not as well spoken as the Danes." Um, but yeah, I absolutely loved it. Welcome to Denmark.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, exactly. Like biking all around and biking home from the pub in the night. That's class.
Oh, it was spot on, that mate. It was spot on. Yeah, it was a really. You find a lot of European cities have are very bike friendly. The UK is like anti-bike simply because like don't just be careful if you're cycling around cities and that like inner cities, big cities are getting better because they're like taking out cars and you've got like the congestion charge in London and there's
Yeah.
like I'm from Manchester, so they're also talking about having like de-vehicle zones, so they're taking out the vehicles altogether. But we've got like a intricate like Met system, so kind of like trams on top of the ground. So it'd be really cool, like taking out the cars. You either cycle, you walk, or you get on the tram, right? But
Yeah.
you go over to the continent, or obviously you go over to you lot in Denmark, and like everyone's on a bike, and it's really really cool to see. Um,
And I also really think like I've been to London a couple of times, and like I love London. I love taking the underground and stuff like that. Um, uh, and like I would love biking around in London because like I think you get to see so much more when you're biking, because when you're driving in the car it's going too fast. When
Yeah.
you're walking it's going too slow. But like on the bike you have like a pretty good pace to get around and see a lot of things and just like enjoy the nature and hear the birds and everything. So that's what I really like about biking. It's great.
Yeah, I really agree. Like you can soak up so much more and then also cover the ground that you need to.
Yeah, exactly.
And especially with like traffic jams, like it's going to take you the same amount of time anyway. You're just going to get there a little bit hot and sweaty.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
whatever. We
like sweaty, that's nice.
yeah, we're all into fitness. We all stink anyway, so
Yeah.
whatever. It's the same with people like, oh no, like don't get too close to me. I stink. I'm like, we're in a gym. You're not gonna smell nice. Like if you smell
No,
nice in the gym, like you've not finished your workout, mate. I'm sorry. And I'm the one who's gonna smell the worst because I've been in here all fucking day. So it's like, come on, like, don't worry about it.
no, it's so true. And like people are always like, oh, I'm sweaty. Yeah, me too. So it's yeah, we're all in the same boat.
Yeah, even people who turn around and say, "Oh no, I don't sweat. Like it doesn't matter what I do, I just don't sweat. I can sit in a sauna and don't sweat." I was like, "Okay, cool." And they do a CrossFit workout, right? And they're absolutely dripping like a hose pipe.
Yeah,
And you're like, "Oh, I thought you said you didn't sweat." They're like, "I don't know what happened to me, man."
it's the burpees. It's always the burpees.
Not the burpees. Nah, if you could get rid of one movement, what would it be?
Oof. Oh, that's a tough question. I think if it was if I had to get rid of one movement like CrossFit in general, it would definitely be deadlifts. I hate deadlifts.
Really?
But if I have to choose, yeah, if I have had to choose like a competition, I was like swimming maybe. Like
Oh, nah.
after that, that's a bit unnecessary.
It's always fun watching CrossFitters swim.
Yeah,
They get in and they basically don't drown until the other end. That's about it. It's barely classed as swimming. Um,
like I remember going to down under CrossFit championships in Australia, and yeah, I've never been like I haven't liked swimming in open water. Like I can swim in a pool, and like I wouldn't say I'm good at it, but I'm not that bad. I'm like kind of average, I think. But like I'm not fond of swimming in open water. So got down to Australia and like 600-meter open water swim. I was like, okay, we're just gonna do this. So I'm just running down the beach out in the turf, and then there's like this big 4 or 5 meter tall wave coming in, and I'm like, nope, this is not gonna be good. Like swimming, I don't like that.
nah, man. Especially in Australia, right? Because there's fucking sharks everywhere. You're like, you want us to go out there? What do you want me to do? High five it? Like, come on, man. Like, nah. Like, come on. I'm sure you got enough pills around.
Like that's the thing. Like I'm not like, yeah, okay, I'm afraid of sharks. Like I don't want to get eaten.
Yeah.
No one wants like to get eaten. But I was like, so you want us to swim in like one of the countries where there's most sharks? I'm like, this doesn't sound like a great idea.
I'll take an L on this workout, guys. Don't worry about it. Like, I'll take 0 on this.
I remember just like because like it's like the first thing you shouldn't do when being in the water is panic. If you panic, it's just over. But like I always had this like the sharks in my mind. So it's just like every time I had the chance, I always swam on the inside of someone else because I was like, yeah, if the shark comes, it's probably gonna take him first.
Yes, sacrifice. Like a buoyant human shield. Like, get out of there, sunshine. Like, set this one. He's a bit more meaty.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's funny, right? Like I swam as a kid, and swam like quote unquote competitively for like I don't know 7 years, 6 years, something like that. But put me in open water and it still freaks me out. Like I have to calm myself down and have a real big conversation with myself. I'm like, Alex, calm down, mate. Stop panicking, blah, 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 blah. But
Yeah,
it's totally different.
that's a there's a big difference between open water and pool swimming. Like it's a crazy big difference.
Oh yeah, mate. Tidal, and then also, there's these weird slimy things that swim underneath you. You're just like, wait, hold on a minute. Like, that's not just like a brave kid who's doing wits underneath the water, to on bets with his mate. Like that's a fish down there, and I'm not really too sure about that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and then like it touches your fingers, and it's like, oh, what was that?
Yeah. I remember. We had this like militant swimming coach, right? He was in the British Army, and then he also was a swimming coach in Australia, funny enough. And he turned around and was like, "Oh, do you want to know what we do in Australia?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "What we do is we take baby crocodiles and we take their teeth out and then we put them in the pool." And obviously, being a kid, right? You're what, 8 years old, maybe 7, 8 years old, maybe even less than that. You believe him, so you're like, nah. Yeah. And then like your imagination as a kid starts picturing a crocodile behind you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, I don't think I've ever swam so quick in my life.
To be fair, that's a proper coach.
That is a proper coach. Yeah, that is a proper coach. What does your coach now come up with any baby crocodile little nuances for you to get you going?
No, we haven't done baby crocodiles yet, but it might come. But we once did this. Phil, he's been on the national rugby team for England. I think I'm pretty sure he has been. And like he once told me I was doing a max out and back squat. And then he just came up to me and said, like, when I used to back squat, my coach used to tell me that my mom was under the bar, so I couldn't drop it. And he was like, that if like just imagine your mom being under the bar so you can't drop it. So like that helps a lot. Like like you don't want to drop the bar on your mom.
100%. Like it's weird, right? The stuff we tell ourselves, or you tell your training partner, or your coach tells you, or whatever, to make you do shit that you kind of would second guess, right? And again, that's where like the funny stuff comes in, right? That's where the funny part of training comes in, because we sit back, right, having a conversation right now, and we can laugh about it. But during the time, that little sentence would send you crazy.
Exactly, like it just gets the adrenaline pumping, and you get so pumped, and like you don't want, like, you want to squat this bar, and now it's just a funny sentence, and like how could I, like, that even get me like pumped up, because it's like I know she isn't there. It's just like I can see it.
100%. Yeah. And you start imagining it, right? Like, some of the shit we used to tell each other in the weight room for rugby, right? It was literally, I'm going to fucking hit you. And if you missed, the thing is, they're going to come up and they'll bitch slap you across your face. And you're like, wait, hold on a minute. Weren't you just like lying to me? And I was like, nah, man. Like, I am actually going to batter you if you don't make the lift. I was like, but I mean, I'm gonna PR by like 20 kilos, and they just look at you and like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Okay.
We want 30 kilos.
Yeah, we want double the weight. What do you mean double the weight? Yeah, I want double. I want you to PR by 200%.
Always.
Fuck. Yeah, I mean, that would be cool, right? But I'd also be asking how much chicken and broccoli you'd be eating to be able to do that.
Yeah, I can just imagine the training percentages afterwards. It's just gonna be terrible.
Fuck yeah! Oh my God. So what's on the cards coming up? Obviously, we've had lockdowns kind of put everything on pause. But have you got any things in the forefront of your mind that you want to go to?
Yeah, I really want to go to the semifinals, like everyone else. So right now it's just I'm gonna go to the Open and like really push hard there, and then hopefully go to the quarterfinals and do whatever it takes there, and just really push hard and do what I can. I don't want to be sitting like afterwards the quarterfinals and being like, okay, I didn't make the semifinals due to a lot of things. So like if everyone's better than me, like that's fine. I've done what I could do.
Yeah.
I want to do everything possible to make it there this year. And that's kind of the plan for this year. Like in the future, I really want to go to the games. Like everyone else wants to. So it's gonna be tough, but like I'm ready to put in the work and everything. So that's nice. Like I have some years to go yet, I feel like.
Yeah,
um
totally,
and
man.
and with like the studies and everything, it's like we have a quite good system here in Denmark, so it's possible to train like all more or less full time and still like go to the university. So that's really nice. So right now it's just like getting the season started and do whatever I can to make it to the semifinals. And from there on, I'm just like I just want some experience. I want to be like when I get the chance to to be at the semifinals and be at the games, I want to be 100% ready. So I don't want to have to gain the experience then. I want to gain the experience now. And that's also why I've been like doing loads of competitions such as the Bike CrossFit Championship and German Throwdown and stuff like that, just to get a lot of experience standing on the floor.
Totally, mate. Like that experience is invaluable. You know what I mean. And you've got to take small steps and follow the breadcrumbs to reach Hansel and Gretel's house, right? And
Yeah, exactly.
it's all about just kind of staying true to the process, session by session, set by set, workout by workout sort of thing. But it's easy to get your head caught up in the clouds when it's like, oh, let's go to the games, or 4 years time, or 2 years time, or I want to do that in 10 months time. But it's yeah, it's literally just focusing on the process. It's easy to say, it's hard to do.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's the reason why I don't have a time constrained on when I like need to go to the games. I'm like I'm gonna go to the games when I'm ready to go to the games, and then I'll take the time it takes to get there. Like
It'll
doing
happen when
all
it'll happen, right?
yeah, exactly.
Happens when it happens. Like you can't really. I don't know if you believe in fate or if anyone believes in fate. I don't know if I believe in fate, but you can't rush it, right? Everything's happens for a reason, and the cards play out however they play out, and it's just like, look, it's not for us to know. It's just kind of keep taking that step forward.
Exactly. Just keep moving forward, keep improving yourself in all aspects, and then it's gonna happen at some point if you really want it and put in the work.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And then different opportunities arise, different doors in completely different directions that you never even would have imagined, right? Start opening up, and it's just like, wait, hold on a minute, like how did this come about? It's like, well, it's the years and months and weeks and days of hard work that you put in previously.
Yeah, exactly. So it's so like right now the focus is just on today, and tomorrow the focus is on tomorrow, and then we'll take it day by day and put in the work every day, and then hopefully that will be enough in the end.
Yes, sir. What is it you're studying at uni?
I'm studying economics and business administration. So it's like really different to CrossFit, but I've always wanted to do something within business, and so that study just really suits me well.
Wow, that's pretty full on.
Yeah, luckily we have this. I'm a part of the government supported athlete program. So the government pays students to take notes for me when I can't be there and stuff like that. So I have the opportunity to go to training camps and go to competitions all around the world without having to be at the university, which is quite nice. Like it's a great program.
Wow. What? So other students get paid to take your notes?
Yeah. So I have one from my study group. Like when I can't show up for uni, which I can't like these days because I'm so focused on the open and the season starting. He's taking notes for me for every class, and then the university is paying him to do that. So it's actually his job to help me out.
That's
So
incredible.
that's quite nice, and like he's already in the study program, so he's taking notes anyway.
Yeah,
So he's literally just getting paid to take my notes.
that's a win-win on both sides, and that really reminds me of like in school, right? When someone does your homework.
Yeah, like and it feels like it.
Yeah. Wow, that's incredible. It's also a
Like
really
that is
really clever idea.
exactly like, and then the elite sports athletes can focus on their sports and everything, but like they're still getting a degree, and the government is just developing the elite athletes instead of having them to choose between a education or the sports. So it's
Yeah,
really
which is
nice.
a really difficult decision, right? Because if you go down the academia route, then you always are left with what if, whether
Yeah,
it's you could have made more money or could have or done this or whatever. But you flip it on the other side, and then you go down this and get injured or whatever happens, what you're left with, sort of thing. Like, yeah, granted, you don't need a degree to make whatever you want to make yourself out in the world, but sometimes it helps.
exactly. So they're just opening two doors instead of closing one. So that's really nice and a great program.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I wonder if any other countries, one, have something similar, or two, would be open to adopt something similar.
I don't know. I have no idea if any other countries have this, but like I would recommend it to every country in the world because the amount of athletes going through it, it's like looking at the university where I'm at, and like they have a list of athletes who's been there, and like there's a lot of great top athletes,
Mm.
and like if that could happen to other countries, like they would secure their athletes in the future, but still let them be athletes and do what they like, that do their hobbies for a living, and I think it's great.
Mm. Yeah, like you said, that I think you made a perfect analogy of opening two doors rather than having to close one and choose left or right sort of thing. And that's really proactive. And Scandinavia as a whole seem like they're all you're always switched on when it comes to whatever debate. It's like, oh, okay, like the world's kind of in a shit place. Oh, Scandinavia are doing well again. It's like, oh well, yeah, I think it's time, and we've said that enough that we need we need to just start copying. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, Denmark's clearly doing well with X, Y, or Z. How about we just copy the exact thing or just change it slightly?
yeah, exactly. Like there's no like you could copy it exactly. You can take just parts from what is good, and like if you did that from all over the world, like every country would be so great developed and have so many opportunities for everyone else. And like and one of the things like I really like about the Danish system is that we're getting paid to study. So like my income is from studying. I'm getting paid from the government to go to the university, and like if there are so many like countries doing that, like so many people would like have some initiative to study, and they want to get better and at everything, which also would be super great.
Yeah, that is a completely mind blowing notion for me to hear. Like it's something like nine grand a year, or it's going to go up, or something crazy in pounds to go to uni, and then you've obviously got to pay for your accommodation and your food and all that sort of shit. And yeah, there's like grants and student loans and stuff, but it needs to go back. And if you can't afford to live, you need to go get a part time job or a full time job, which obviously you can't have two full time things because
then they wouldn't be full-time, right?
Exactly. Then you have to get a full-time job to study full-time, but like you can't focus on your study because you're having a full-time job to pay for your studies. And yeah, like it would be so much better if you could just like focus on your study and really develop yourself as a engineer or I don't know what's like anything. Like,
And then that's when you're just going to end up developing the workforce later on down the line, right? Because everyone's going to be, higher educated, and they would have had a little bit more work experience or had the time to develop that in their craft, rather than be like, oh no, I've got to skip a couple of steps because I need to pay rent. It's like, no, take the 4 years you need and like, study it and really, have some experience in your craft before you throw yourself in the deep end.
Yeah, this makes so much sense.
It does make sense, but at the same time, like, it's politics. Politics doesn't make any sense either, does it?
No, too. That's a whole another thing. Like,
there's a reason why we're into fitness and we're not politicians.
Yeah, exactly.
Although I do say one day I would love to be a politician, simply because I want to be the first politician to walk into Parliament and call someone a dickhead. Just going to be like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. You're a dickhead, so fuck off. And they'll be like, oh, who let this lad in? I was like, oh, well, to be honest, the door was open. I just walked in. Just something that.
Haven't that already happened in England? Like I feel like the Parliament in England is like watching when we're in middle school, like the teachers are showing us like debates from the UK, because like it's so different to Denmark. Like everyone gets a saying and people are screaming at each other, and it's so great to watch. And like that's like I kind of like that way of politics, because like everyone like gets to say something and people disagree with each other. Where in Denmark you have to get on a chair to speak, and then like you can't say anything if you're sitting in the crowd or anything.
It's a lot more polite though, right? Like it seems like British politics seems like a fucking soap opera. It's like something you would turn the TV on to watch for entertainment after a busy day. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna wind down and look at a load of posh people like argue over like nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
which they do anyway. So yeah. I mean, whatever. But hey, yeah, maybe 2020, whatever it's going to be, I'll run for Prime Minister.
If I could vote, I would.
I'd take your vote. I was like, hey, I've got Denmark's vote. They're like, they can't vote. I was like, tough shit. I'm allowing it. Like, oh mate, I really appreciate your time. I know you're gonna have you're starting your day, so you're gonna have a busy day, always. So I really appreciate your time, brother, and good luck on Friday.
Cheers, mate, and you too if you're doing the open, and thank you for letting me be on your podcast. It was great fun. Like
always, mate.
It's a great
always.
Experience.
Hey, always welcome. I'm sure you got many more to come in the not so distant future.
I'm hoping for that.
Mate, spot on, lad. And if I'm ever in Denmark, I'll flick you a message.
Oh, let me know. Then I'll show you around and go do some sessions and everything.
Yes, yeah, spot on, mate. Spot on. All right. Have a good day and crush your session.
Yeah. Cheers, you too.
Bye-bye. Peace, man.